So we use these when we're doing conversion problems, and that's the best place to practice them. Do be careful to think about them, because you will be asked to do calculations reporting answers to the correct number of significant figures. The general thing is called dimensional analysis. Some people call it unit conversions. Same idea, different ways of naming it, where you begin with some original value, you make a magic conversion with some kind of equivalence, and you end up with an equivalent quantity as your answer. The equivalence is going to be a relationship of something like a meter is a certain number of inches, which is a funny number that no one wants to memorize. And that relationship is also called an equality, because those two things are equal. And you can turn them into a conversion factor by making them into a ratio. 1 meter per 39.37 inches, or 39.37 inches per 1 meter. If you want to go from inches to meters, you use the left one, because the inches are going to need to cancel out. And if you're going from meters to inches, you'll use the right one, because the meters will need to cancel out. You'll always need to set things up to allow the units to cancel. Important thing to pay attention while you're writing them out carefully. You'll make that more obvious. Okay, so in the correct versus the incorrect. The incorrect method, you just wrote down a conversion factor and you forgot to check. Because if you put your original quantity here as inches and you throw in your conversion factor randomly, you don't remember that your conversion factor is wrong, because you end up with something very odd. You're hoping to get another unit of length. Inches is length, and inches squared per meter makes no sense whatsoever. And so you have set up your factor incorrectly. The meter does not cancel with the inches. Instead, make sure you set it up so that the inches in your original value cancel out with the inches in your conversion factor, and you end up with something in meters, which is a far more satisfying answer. Be careful as you go to write out all the steps, and that way you'll be more careful to see when things are going to cancel. Look for units to cancel. If you do, 99% of the time you will be correct. Works quite well. All right. Now, let's see. Which one of these conversion tools, conversion factors, would you use to complete the following with a dimensional analysis, converting millimeters and meters, finding out how many millimeters are in 37 meters of rope. Wow, how many millimeters goes with a meter? Well, go back to our metric prefixes. Milli is m. It means 10 to the minus 3. Go back and check that chart earlier in the chapter if you don't recall. And that's the prefix m. So millimeter is going to be 10 to the minus 3 meters. Another way of stating that, if you don't like negative exponents, is to multiply both sides by 1,000. And you will get an equivalent relationship. 10 to the minus 3 times 1,000 is 1 meter. And a millimeter, so 1,000 millimeters, or 10 to the 3 millimeters. I'll write it that way also. 10 to the 3 millimeters is a meter. You can do it either way. So you need to check out your choices down here, A, B, C, D, E. Check them out. Let's see which ones look ridiculous, which ones look right. Well, things with 37 in them look like they're way off target. And things with 100 are off target. We're looking for something that has relationships of 1,000 in there. So which way do we want to set this up? So 37 meters, and we're going to set it up to put meters where they'll cancel. And you need to recall the equivalence that was shown here, either 10 to the minus 3 meters. Oh, they put it in the powers of 10 as 1,000 instead. So that's why you need to be able to use this alternate arrangement. Sometimes that's more favorable to you. And so 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. So you're going to put 1 meter here and 1,000 millimeters on top. And when you do that, if everything's set up correctly, your units will cancel and the answer will make some sense. And so we're looking for the one that has 1,000 millimeters over a meter. That apparently is answer A. You could, of course, complete the calculation and you would find out that the answer is 37 times 1,000, which in my book is still 37,000, or 3.7 times 10 to the 4th. It's not 10 to the 3rd because you had 30, not 3 to begin with. All right, now let's